Ow!
This screen carries fond memories of my whole team. When I see the screen, I see all of them, since everyone contributed in some way, even more so as it was the team from ancient times. Of course, I see Micha, who did the background, I see the animators, the scripters, and also some folks who really stand out, since they did things that actually weren't even their job on this project. I see Dome there, for example, who sadly left the company some time ago, but back then he worked in the marketing department, and he's also the cousin of Marco Hüllen, who did The Whispered World. He was with us and did the marketing gig for several years, and he came up with the most ludicrous ideas, many of too far out even for our games, if we didn't want any trouble with the law, that is. But he was the one who said, Pokey, you need to get that platypus trapper in there. And so I got that platypus trapper in there. He said, get me that platypus trapper, when he heard we did something with platypuses, and I was happy to oblige. Another person of interest tightly connected to Deponia is the spiritual leader of our animators, Gunnar Bergman. He's part-time lead animator of Deponia and Harvey's New Eyes, and I say part-time because Simone, in her position of art directress designate, took on that job herself from time to time. But each time when time got in her way, or when she wanted to draw, Gunnar took the wheel. He didn't draw much himself later on, but instead was busy showing the ropes to the trainees or freelancers. A lot of metaphorical juggling was involved to show these people how exactly wanted our animations to be, so the scripters could implement them properly. But in this location, Gunnar also provided a character for the German version with his voice once again, and I must admit he's become one of my favorite voice actors. From our German staff, that is. We gave it a try back then, way back then. I think the first time was for a picture puzzle game, probably one of those Shakespeare games we did or something, ever since we cast him for one or the other character. In the German version of Harvey's New Eyes, for example, he actually voiced several characters, and he did it extraordinarily well. Being part of our English-speaking audience, you won't remember his voice from the police officer, for example, you met during the tutorial, but he did a really nice, exaggerated John Cleese voice. And right here, Gunnar is a fast food clerk in the German version, and thus one of my favorite roles. Great delivery. Oh, Lord of Darkness. In German it's, oh, Herr der Finsternis. Manchmal machst du mir richtig Angst, Herr der Finsternis. Sometimes you really scare me, Lord of Darkness. Excellent.
What an ugly nest. It must belong to an extremely ugly bird.
Hands off! The field guide is only for members of the Platypus Club.
Even though I really resent having to ask this question, how can I become a member of the Platypus Club again?
It's easy! I hid some trial membership cards in the restaurant's fortune cookies.
Really? Which once again proves that luck is relative.
Welcome to Platypus Paradise. What platitudes may I offer you today?
What the heck is this place?
It's a souvenir shop. We have everything a tourist could possibly desire. Platypus greeting cards, platypus candy, platypus hats, platypus back scratchers, platypus jewelry, platypus figurines for the mantelpiece, platypus cuddly toys, t-shirts with amusing platypus slogans, and music cartridges with platypus noises.
Well stocked. I take it you're into platypuses.
Sure looks like it, huh? Platypuses are my livelihood. If you know where to find them, you can make a small fortune off of them.
By selling back scratchers to tourists?
Ha! You have no idea. For one thing, I supply them to the Platypus restaurant. I'm also a bookmaker for platypus betting and chairman of the Platypus Club. Platypuses even inspire my poetry.
You, write poetry about platypuses?
Yep, mainly for greeting cards, but they also appear every week in Platypus Daily.
Have you got anything that's not made from platypuses?
Well, the platypus figurines are made of clay, but I use platypus wax for the finish.
You also supply the platypus restaurant.
Yep, there's good eating on one of those things.
What if there's a shortage?
Now that would be a disaster. The restaurant would have to completely change its menu. But it'll never come to that. There are unguarded nests everywhere on the floating black market.
What do you mean by unguarded nests?
In every generation, there's an especially vicious platypus that guards the nest of the pride.
What could they possibly do to you? Try to bite your fingers?
Let me tell you, they're evil little critters.
Oh, don't tell me they can bite through gloves.
And jockstraps.
Oh,
So you're interested in nest guardians. Club members get to read all about them in the Platypus Field Guide.
yippee! What's the deal with this platypus club?
Oh, it's great. As a member, you always get brand new information from the world of platypuses delivered to your doorstep. You'll be the first to learn about the wonders of platypus procreation. And you'll know the platypus migration routes even before winter comes.
Angela, feathers grow on your hump.
Platypuses have neither feathers nor humps. As a member of the club, you'd know that. Upon registration, every new member receives the latest edition of the Platypus Field Guide. I hid some trial membership cards in the restaurant's fortune cookies. With a little help from Dame Fortune, you might be able to join the inner circle of platypus enthusiasts.
If Dame Fortune really keeps herself busy with that kind of humbug, it explains the bad luck I've been having lately. What else can you tell me about platypuses?
Quite a lot, but that would take all day.
And nobody wants that.
If you were a member of the Platypus Club, you would be issued with a Platypus Field Guide. You could look it all up for yourself then.
Ah, yes. Life could be so beautiful. I've got crucial background information about the plans of the Organon. And you've got a platypus field guide. Maybe we could come up with a deal.
Sorry, not interested.
But what if the Organon is planning to blast Deponia to Kingdom Come?
Yes, what if?
I'll only tell you that if you give me the field guide.
No.
But perhaps I need that field guide to thwart the Organon's plans. Your life could depend on it.
Maybe, or maybe not.
All right, explode then for all I care. Grab a bus, platypus.
Yes, I will, Ducky Bill.
I never touch stuff that some stranger has already had in their rear end.
Just a second. I'll be with you right away. Oh, great and almighty Cthulhu, your faithful servant has found you another sacrifice.
Moginox aprixidor dobidom padrex. Barador extra cheese.
Yes! Yes!
Huh, not a bad place.
Here I am. Please excuse the delay.
No problem.
How can I help you?
So, what's the deal with these fortune cookies?
Actually, I'm not really sure myself.
That's no problem.
The sacrifice just asked about the fortune cookies, my lord.
Midior panzozex padino muror badidana. La paridox tomentor.
Enslave the mortals. Right on. And here I am again. The fortune cookies are free, courtesy of the house. With a little luck, you may even win a trial membership in the Platypus Club.
Hooray! What a romantic place.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. The view, the old town. All that's missing is children at play.
Oh, one moment, please. I think he's on to us. He noticed the missing children.
Borondeor Satinav. Mumble snumble grabbar bones.
Oh, you know, oh Lord of Darkness, sometimes I find you downright scary.
Here I am again. Anything else I can do for you?
So, what have you got?
Well, the dinner menu applies for the restaurant. Here at the takeout counter, we mainly serve platypus burgers.
I hope they're not too greasy. I would hate to ruin my perfect body.
Oh, in that case, I'd better ask.
Oh, great and wise Cthulhu, the sacrifice wishes to know whether our burgers will make him fat.
Ravanek cha. Ravanek kamcha. Koror. All natural.
Ah, right.
Our management would like to assure you that we use nothing but choicest ingredients in our products, and all the essential vitamins.
I don't know if I mentioned that, but I like mini games. This minigame has a long history. It was even part of the production process before we actually started working on Deponia 1, if I'm not mistaken. Back then, and I hope I won't do somebody wrong here, it was Ulf who worked on the first draft. Yes, Ulf is a German name. He's a colleague who was on the team, but unfortunately only for a very short time. Unfortunately indeed, since he was one of us, one of the Dalek with heart and soul. The minigame's story, though, begins even before that. I had, as many wannabe writers tend to, a folder on my hard drive that contained a dozen or more or less brilliant ideas for movie screenplays. Or at least rough drafts of screenplays written right from my brain on paper, or rather into a Word document. Some of those screenplays were really promising, and while most of them didn't get far, some of them almost made it to the finish line. The idea, however, that somebody comes into a fast food restaurant and by shrewdly manipulating and combining special offers walks away with a meal yet not paying 1 cent originates from a screenplay I wrote, and that screenplay was called The Night of False Idols. That was also about clones, by the way, some sort of road movie, though featuring 2 morticians who drive around with the clones of Elvis and Jesus in their trunk. I don't think I'll ever finish the script, but basically it was a cool idea.
Is this your order?
Yes. Why?
Right. That comes to, 0 slotty.
That deserves a large tip. Let's say 30%.
How very generous.
And you can keep the change. Whoa, impressive digs.
Ahem. Have you ever heard of knocking?
Of course, but I find their new album too commercial.
What are you doing here? Don't you at least wipe your feet?
Not since my 8th birthday. Back then, my dad?
Rufus?
Dad! You're Captain Seagull?
Ahem. Your shoes, Rufus.
Excuse me, sir. Wow, Dad, this is really a totally radical kick-ass location. And a doormat made of real wombat. Respect.
Doormat?
Yeah, it's hanging right next to the door.
That's my Sunday coat.
Oh.
Listen, Rufus, I'm a busy man. Just tell me what brought you here and then run along and play again, okay?
Aren't you at all glad to see me?
Yes, of course I'm glad. I'm just very busy right now. If you're a good boy and let your old man finish his work, then maybe later we can go feed the seagulls.
Feed the seagulls? Are you kidding? I have important things to do.
Then it won't matter if I haven't got time for you until later, right?
Later. You always say that. I thought you went to Elysium.
Elysium?
Yes, Elysium, you know. You left me to move to Elysium. You can't tell me you don't remember that.
Oh, right. Yes, I remember. And how? Just what was I thinking? After all, everybody knows that it's impossible to escape Deponia. What a wild and crazy guy I was back then. Always reaching for the stars. Today, I know it's not worth the effort to pursue such crazy ideas. Once you're as old as your dad, I'm sure you'll understand.
You can so totally forget that. I'll never be that old, loser. You changed your name?
Nothing to do with you, honestly. But still, please don't go around telling everybody you're my son, all right?
Dad, how come you're talking to me like that? You may not have noticed, but I am no longer a child.
Ah, you're all grown up now.
Yeah, ha 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 ha.
Like with a house of your own and a steady income.
Well, I mean, that's,
I'll take that for a no.
I'm a tinkerer. I even had a real workshop in Kuvak.
You're not talking about that toy workbench I once gave you when you were little.
Well, I'm still way more grown up than you are. So there. Don't you even want to know what I've been up to all this time?
Oh, please don't tell me you wreaked some sort of havoc again. What was it this time? Did you set something on fire? Did you steal anything? Destroy someone else's property?
Well, I mean, you've got to see that in context. I have to stop the Organon from blowing up Deponia.
Then what are you doing here in the floating black market? The Organon are far away. And if anything should explode here, it'll probably be your fault.
Yeah, you just don't understand.
I don't? So when has the Organon ever blown up anything?
Maybe not so far, but...
And how many detonations have you caused this month?
Well, I...
That shut you up, huh?
I'm still counting. I need to go look after my Elysian girlfriend.
Yes, of course. What was her name again? Babsy Boo?
No, not Babsy Boo. She's a true Elysian. Her name is Goal.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Now you're impressed, huh?
You meet an Elysian and then bring her here? Didn't I teach you anything?
No, you were a great parent.
You didn't leave her alone, did you?
Don't worry, she's in a safe place, down in Gulliver's Tavern at the harbor.
Okay. Looks like I failed to teach you a few essential facts of life.
Really, Dad, let's not go there. I know all about the bees and the flowers, although I may be a little unclear about the concept of pollination. But I'm a real pro when it comes to building hives, if you know what I mean.
You're giving me hives, all right. But let's get back on topic. What I was trying to say is that obviously you never learned how to treat a lady. Have you at least invited her to dinner?
Well, there was this bowl of peanuts.
I'm talking about a date, Rufus. A romantic date. The only restaurant that might be suitable is Chez Schlumpy. At least they offer an exclusive view. But alas, all they have on their menu is platypus.
What's wrong with platypus?
It's so vulgar. It lives among the flotsam and feeds on table scraps. It could even be the heraldic beast of Deponia. No, platypus dishes would only remind her that she is stranded in the boondocks. You must see to it that platypus completely disappears from the menu at Schlumpy's. Can you do that?
Ah, piece of cake for a romantic like me.
Once you've done that, you may reserve a table in my name. But not before then. Understand?
I haven't told you the half of it.
Oh my, Rufus. What else have you gotten yourself into?
I'm actually about to go to Elysium.
Good luck.
I'm serious. I'm going to Elysium.
Yeah, right. Come on, Rufus. I am truly flattered that you want to follow in my footsteps. But do you really have to step into every single pile of poop on the way?
Not everyone. For one thing, I would never leave my 8-year-old son behind.
Really? So you would take him along?
Yes, I would.
Well, if he takes after you, I hope you'll remember to bring a little shovel and a plastic bag.
I'll tell you some other time.
Sounds good to me. In the meantime, I'll consult my legal advisor.
What exactly are you working on?
I need to write instructions for my staff.
And you consider that more important than talking to your son? We haven't seen each other in years.
So why would every second suddenly count now? I am responsible for this house and its personnel.
I am also responsible for doing important things, like saving the world.
Then why are you still hanging around here? Do I still have to hover over you to make sure you're completing your chores?
About the date.
Stop hemming and hawing and stand up straight, boy. What do you want to know?
What was it again that I need to do so you'll let me reserve a table?
The platypus dishes must be taken off the menu. I don't care how you do it.
Deal.
Just promise me that nobody will be injured in the process.
Too late. I already said deal. Don't go away. I'll be back soon.
Forget that line. Not even an 8-year-old would buy it.
Secret Doors in Bookshelves, Volume 1. Secret Doors in Bookshelves, Volume 2. Gah, this library is a total waste of space.
As a real gentleman, I read a lot.
As a real blah, 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 that doesn't change the fact that the shelf is big and ugly. Besides, it's too dark in here to read.
Ah, that's true. I should buy a new crystal chandelier when I have the chance. But for now, a few candles will suffice. I need candles. There. Here, Rufus. Be so good and take this memo to the servant's mailbox.
Yeah, Who does he think he is? Well, he is my... Oh, whatever. Anyway, I'm not his errand boy.
Hands off the ornamental fish.
Hey, I just wanted to pet them.
I said no.
Aw, man. This is no luxury villa. The whole wall is open here.
That's called a picture window, Rufus. This way I always have an eye on the entire black market.
But there's a terrible draft.
The floor heating is actually supposed to compensate for that. I need coal. There.
Hey, Dad.
What can't you...
Don't go away.
For not even...
Huh. Yeah. Pull on the book titled Pull Here for Secret Door. Wow! Who would have thought? Pull on the book titled Pull Here for Secret Door. Wow! Who would have thought?
Oh yes, Captain Seagull's estate at the top of the floating black market is not only a beautiful setting to behold, but also a big surprise for the players and Rufus. Only few are aware that we did pull off a little sleight of hand during production by not telling Rufus his father would join the Deponia cast as well. We shoved Seagull right into the scene, and for Rufus it was just as surprising as it was for the player, which resulted in a very authentic performance. That little trick worked out brilliantly, and the family reunion became just as stirring as I've imagined it.
Yeah, well, first of all, I was shaken, not stirred. I mean, I was down and out. I was totally wrecked, and this sucked so much. But later, on my way home, all I was thinking was, come on, walk it off. We've been there, we've done that, just move on. Cary Grant also regularly complained how he didn't understand what North by Northwest was about, and why Alfred Hitchcock gave him his text afterward. He read the script afterward. It was the same problem with Casablanca and The Big Sleep with Humphrey Bogart. And so I'm in the same boat there with the greatest of the great. And it's like, no, it's okay. We'll just let that rest. But the worst thing is, and the users can't know that, we did that scene with an advertising agency, and when I entered the set, I felt ashamed. I sincerely hoped that none of these ad people were lurking around, since, I think ads seriously suck. I'm not a sellout. Unfortunately, just for that moment, one of their ad hunters came along. So the whole thing's really unpleasant memories, really. This is no luxury villa. There's even parasites nesting here.
That is my aquarium. I collect rare ornamental fish.
Rarely significant, maybe. And they're tiny, too.
I should actually feed them again. I need breadcrumbs. There.
This is no luxury villa. This place is overrun with weeds.
Those are flowers, Rufus. I have them brought from the garden as decoration.
These hideous vegetables?
They could actually use a bit more water. I need water for the flowers. There.
Can't you do anything on your own?
That is why I have servants.
Oh, yeah? Do they wipe your butt, too?
Oh, that reminds me.
Stop
need
scribbling.
toilet
Haven't you noticed that this doesn't save you any time? On the contrary, you spend all your time writing notes.
Mind your tone, young man.
Pardon me, sir.
Wonderful. Now I've lost my thread of thought. What was I going to write down? Ah, that was it. I need thread.